Buffalo Latino Lens, proudly sponsored by Start With Sleep the Does, Neighborhood Health Center, and the Buffalo Latino Village.
My name is Nino Morales. Welcome to Amapola Arts.
So my name is Dr. Glisette Morales, and I'm an associate professor actually at Buffalo State University, and my background is actually in bilingual special education. My entire career has been focused on serving children and teachers who work with children who are both multilingual, specifically our Latinos and Hispanos, but who also may have disabilities, right? Helping educators understand what is a language difference, what is a language disorder. And so in a lot of that work comes a lot of advocacy. Art is a really powerful tool for advocacy. And in a lot of the work that I do is advocating for our right to our own language and to our own culture. And I've been able to use clay and teach young people how to say what they want to say about their rights, what democratic justice means to them, in all kinds of ways, whether it's wheel throwing, coil building, drawing and carving into the clay, images, words that represent a story that they want to tell. And so one thing that I've been doing lately is using clay to tell the story of Puerto Rico and what happened to Puerto Rico. So this particular exhibit here se llama Entre Ruinas y Resistencia. And so it's a series that just tells the general story of what happened. And so this first piece right here, I call Antes de la Tormenta. And this was a coil built piece by hand, very organic with Taino carvings and petroglyphs and the beautiful Amapola Flor de Maga that represents who we are. And it just is very organic, it's very natural, it's very beautiful, and it represents Borican as we once were. And then we all know the story of what happened in the 1400s and 1500s, and this is called Primer Encuentro. And it's really a striking piece because we can see that the first encounter was quite severe and quite so many atrocities happen, and you can see immediately the amapola is broken, the sugar cane is extracted from our beautiful island, and inmediatamente estamos encadenados, right? And so then the last piece here, or the third piece, excuse me, se llama desplazamiento, displacement, because a lot of people don't realize that the Taínos were nearly eradicated immediately through disease and all of the atrocities that happened to them. And then our African brothers and sisters came over through the slave trade, and we know that most of them came from West Africa, so I ripped a hole right through West Africa, and you could see the chain, you could see the fire, and just how immediately charred our island was and broken it was. And then we move over here and we can see now the influence of Europe and España, and we see El Morro right here, where most of us know as a tourist attraction, but a lot of people don't realize what it really signifies, right? And so I purposely placed barbed wire around El Morro, and we see here this beautiful blue trying to come out representing Puerto Rico, but still estamos bajo asedio, under siege. However, thankfully we have bomba, right? And so through music and through uniting with our African ancestors and los taínos came what we know today as bomba. So this is real animal skin. Esto es un barril de bomba. Just to talk about the history of bomba and how that was really a tool for resistance and resilience. And even today, we still use bomba as resistance. And then the next piece is survival, because through it all, we did survive. And bomba evolved into what we know as plena and salsa, and even reggaeton is used for socio-political messages, right? And I created a plate because we sustained each other, we nourished each other through our shared story. But then we end today with reclamación. So this is a more contemporary version of the original piece, but it's restored, it's beautiful, and we're still here as Taino people. So this piece here se llama Monte Vivo, right? Live Mountain. And I really wanted to share the story of the trifecta that is our DNA here, right? So I've sculpted a mountain here, and if you look carefully around the mountain, we can see our Taino petroglyphs around the mountains, and that literally exists when we visit Puerto Rico, right? And we go to the different mountains and cuevas. But I also wanted to think about how can I incorporate our African history and also our European history. So of course I've hand built a bomba skirt here and purposely place it on the top of the mountain to really honor it and uplift what is bomba to our community and how it symbolizes survival and resistance and even beauty, right? And so there's some movement, and it's what brings the mountain alive. And then I've placed some books here. I'm an educator, so I believe in arming ourselves with knowledge. But I also wrote in here nuestra historia, and I did it in Spanish on purpose because, like it or not, people don't realize the Spanish language was imposed on us. It's a colonized language. It's not it's our original language. It's the Taino language. But unfortunately, the imposed language is the language that we have today to tell our stories, to advocate for linguistic justice, and it's what we have for written artifacts in terms of what our story is. And so there's a tension there, even as a language, an advocate for language rights and a bilingual educator. It's not lost on me the irony that we're fighting for a language that was imposed on us. It's not really our language, but it's the language that we have today, and so we have to continue to fight for it. But I still want to pay homage to our Taino history and our Taino language that does exist. We do have those words today. It's not as robust as the Spanish language, but nevertheless, we tell our stories through both of those languages. And so that's Montevivo, and of course it sits on the beautiful island of Puerto Rico, and each municipality is etched out in the clay. So this piece se llama El Portal de Boriquén, the portal to Boriquén, because many of us know the black and white door in El Viejo San Juan as a tourist attraction, and we all like to take pictures, but a lot of us don't understand the significance between the black and white flag, right? And we know that that door used to be in color, the red, white, and blue, and was changed to the black and white because of what happened in Puerto Rico with the Promesa Act and what was supposed to be something that helped the island, but ended up being a very corrupt way to take money from public service. So that door is now black and white, and we now see that black and white flag still used today as a form of resistance. So I chose to create this, hand build this, but surround it by lustered Taino pendants. And so I created a quote here that says, "The black and white flag waves with the spirit of our Taino ancestors, unbroken, undefeated, and still here." And so this is just a replica of the door, but what we notice here is that the door is chained. And the reason for that is because we want to close off what's behind the door to the rest of the world, because it has been taken and gentrified and misused and misappropriated. So if you go around to the other side of the piece, you see the beauty of Boriquén, our naturaleza, our rivers, our mountains, of course our amapolas. And I actually have another quote in here, believe it or not, from Bad Bunny's new song, Lo que le pasó a Hawaii. And I've engraved in here, "No suelte la bandera ni olvide el lelolai." And so this is our beauty of Boriquén, and we are protecting it through the power of our Taino ancestors. Yeah. I had to quote Bad Bunny.
This piece is an original piece created by me, and it represents a cacique warrior of Puerto Rico. And this is how we we try to honor our art. It's just by going back into our past and telling the stories, good and bad. We focus on telling the good side of our history and the bad side of our history. Our history, as you know, is very mixed. So we focus on everything. Every piece we do tells a story about where we come from.
How well you sleep impacts how you show up in the world each day. My mission is to change the conversation about the way we view and prioritize sleep. Through my companies, Start With Sleep, I educate communities, workplaces, and schools. Through the Doze, we provide a line of sleep-enhancing products to help you sleep better and deeper. And through the Doze podcast, we offer you actionable tips to put the science of sleep into action. Are you ready to show up at your best?
When I come in here, if I've got a list of questions, they take the time to listen to those questions. We talk about them, they answer them for me.
Para mí es como un clic que haya entre el médico, el paciente, y más si es del mismo idioma que uno.
We've proven that if you come to our health center that your health's going to be better than if you go to many other places.
I believe we provide the best type of healthcare there is.
This piece right here is called The Carrier, and it just represents an old African woman walking through the sugar canes of Puerto Rico. And it represents, she's carrying a heavy sack. And it represents how our old ancestors used to carry, she carrying our hopes, our dreams in this bag. And the black flowers represents all the challenges that we go through as Latinos on a daily basis. So one piece represents the hopes and dreams of our ancestors and the daily challenges of the Latino people that are currently in the United States. Right here is just some of the prints that we do here at Amapola Arts. Every original piece of work that we do, that I do as an artist, I always create a print. I don't print everything. Some of my prints are limited edition, but all my work that's sold or get commissioned, I always create a print to keep a record of it. Not only that, people can carry this print with them, and we sell it here at the shop and also at all of our local shows that we do. So right here, this one's called Hidden Chords, and it just represents the way the old plantation workers used to send signals to each other through music. All right, so this piece right here is called The Sound of the Soul, and it's a piece I'm doing for a client. Being Puerto Rican, my connection to Puerto Rico is a lot through music. My family is very musical. We have people that play all kinds of instruments and sing, and our roots are very, music carries a big connection to the Puerto Rican people. Not only the Puerto Rican people, the people of the Caribbean. So I paint a lot of instruments that are traditional to the island. The guitar, the cuatro, the congas, maracas, güiros are all a part of my art. And this is just one of those pieces. So a lot of my work has the Amapola. The Amapola is actually the indigenous word of hibiscus for Puerto Rico. The Taino people, or the people of Boriquen, call the actual hibiscus Amapola. They're actually different types of hibiscus in Puerto Rico, and the original flower of Puerto Rico, the traditional flower of Puerto Rico, is actually called Flor de Maga. It looks a lot like this representation of the hibiscus, but the Flor de Maga and the actual Amapola are two different things. They look almost completely alike, but they play off each other. And all of my art, I'm not going to say all of it, but most of it, I said a good 90% of it includes the hibiscus, the Amapola, and hence the name of our business, Amapola Arts.
We have somebody else to introduce you. So Nino and I co-own Amapola Arts, but there's a third team member that does a lot of work, and her name is Anabel Keys. And Ana Belkis is our kiln. This is where we fire the ceramics. When we bisque fire, which is the first firing, it's fired at what we call a cone 4, which is a little over 1900 degrees Fahrenheit. The pieces come out bisque that look like this, which means that the clay will no longer disintegrate if we put water on it. It's ready to be glazed for a second firing, which we fire at cone 6, which is a little over 2200 degrees Fahrenheit. And each firing is anywhere between 8 hours to 13 hours long. So it is a process.
I think it's important as Latinos, as Puerto Ricans, to share our culture with the American people, not only for them to get an idea of our history, of our traditions and things like that, but also to educate. A lot of people are afraid of differences, and I think our mission at Amapola Arts is to go out into the community, not just in our studio, and spread the word about our heritage and where we came from. And as Puerto Ricans, we have a lot to share with the world. We have a very rich art culture, artists, music, paintings, poets, writers, and I think it's important for the Puerto Rican people to go out there and share our history and our traditions and our current situation as part of the United States. Also, we don't want the youth to lose that touch with our traditions. We want to carry the traditions forward. As our kids live in the United States and more of our children are born in the United States, we want to maintain that connection to the island and indigenous inheritance, which are the Borican people, the people as we know as the Taino. I think that's very important, and that's one of our main missions here at Amapola Arts.
I think that preserving our history through art is just fundamental, really, for the survival and the continuance of passing on those stories, especially for our newer generations. I myself, in first generation, I was not born in Puerto Rico. I did have the pleasure of being able to attend bilingual schools and live in Puerto Rico as I was older, and had families that passed on traditions and taught me that way. But really, as an adult, I had to do my own learning of my own culture, and through my husband, who is an amazing historian, really learn things that I never even knew. So for us, through art, I think it's important. We have multiple mediums here at Amapola Arts: photography, canvas art, clay. And we wholeheartedly believe that everybody is an artist. You just have to find your medium. But it's important, and not just for Latinos, but non-Latinos, right? So I believe fully in windows and mirrors. So we want to be a mirror to our own kids who have never even heard of the word Taino or Boricua, or where that comes from. Why is the term Boricua, right? So we want to see themselves reflected when they come into Amapola Arts, and to create art that reflects their stories about their ancestors. But we also think it's important for the broader community to be able to come into Amapola Arts, and we can serve as a window for them to come in and learn about our culture as well. I also think that art is extremely powerful for advocacy. So I don't believe in the term minority. I don't think that Latinos are minorities, but it is a reality that we are a minoritized community, that we are a marginalized community. And so unfortunately, the staircase is much steeper for us, and there's a lot of things that we have to advocate for. And art can be a very powerful tool for captivating an audience to come in and starting a conversation and a dialogue about very difficult issues. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome at Amapola Arts. Aquí a la orden. Estamos abiertos from Tuesday through Saturday. And we also have our online website where you can order as well. Bienvenidos.
How well you sleep impacts how you show up in the world each day. My mission is to change the conversation about the way we view and prioritize sleep. Through my companies, Start With Sleep, I educate communities, workplaces, and schools Through the Doze, we provide a line of sleep-enhancing products to help you sleep better and deeper. And through the Doze podcast, we offer you actionable tips to put the science of sleep into action. Are you ready to show up at your best?
When I come in here, if I've got a list of questions, they take the time to listen to those questions. We talk about them, they answer them for me.
Para mí es como un clic que haya entre el médico, el paciente, y más si es del mismo idioma que uno.
We've proven that if you come to our health center that your health's going to be better than if you go to many other places.
I believe we provide the best type of healthcare there is.
Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl Amara La Negra, and I want to give a special shout out to Buffalo Latino Lens. You already know what time it is.
Hi, I'm Tyrene Tapia, and I am the owner of Latinas Evolving. And through Latinas Evolving, we create community-focused events that empower Latina entrepreneurs, contributing to the social equity and economic development within the Latina community. Our work strengthens the Latino or Latin A community entrepreneur programs or entrepreneurs, period. And we do that by contributing culturally responsible micro-funding, educational programs, as well as strategic visibility. And we do that by delivering services like our magazine that we come out with every single year during Hispanic Heritage Month, as well as through panel discussions, educational programs, or professional development gatherings called Cafecito Tempranito con Tyrene. And our first vendor edition is actually this one that we're hosting today, which we called Latina Power Market, and we're showcasing technically 11 Latina-owned businesses, because the establishment that we're in right now is called The Doze and is Latina-owned, but she also owns another business called Start With Sleep. And then we have 9 other Latina-owned businesses that are being showcased today, which we'll see. And it's all about showcasing them, featuring them, and for the community to see and hear what these businesses are doing, and to also support each other within the Latino community and beyond. Our allies are constantly asking who are the individuals that they want to look for, who are the individuals to contact within the community, and this is a way to showcase these businesses so that they know who to contact and for what.
Hi, my name is Rachel Owane. This is my sister, Catherine Dolan, and we are the co-owners of Prohibition Desserts. We launched in October of this past year, so we're just approaching a year in business. And we started because we started cooking for our friends and family, just for fun things, birthdays, holidays, special events. And infusing our desserts with a fun little twist. These are all alcohol-infused desserts, and people really liked them and suggested that we share it with the rest of the community. So we launched.
Yes, and our mother used to bake as well, so we got all of these recipes as homemade recipes, but we added the fun part to it. So this is something that we've been working on for a long time, even if it wasn't with the intention of going into business at first.
Yeah. We actually moved to Buffalo together 6 years ago. I was living in New York and my sister was living in San Diego, and just the stars aligned. My husband got a job here in Buffalo. That's what was starting to bring us up here.
Yes.
And Catherine has always wanted to come back to the East Coast.
Yes, once Rachel started having kids, I knew I wanted our kids to grow up together, so I knew it was time to come home, and here I am. And so we initially started with cupcakes, but we've started to expand. So now we also have alcohol-infused cheesecake, strawberry shortcake, and we do take all sorts of requests. Yes. So we're excited to expand our menu.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Cedeno, but everyone calls me Titi Kim. And I started this journey after needing a spine surgery and wasn't able to walk. And conventional medicine just did not seem like the route that I wanted to take. I've worked in the medical field. I've seen how medicine, and personally how it can damage your lungs, how it can damage your liver, it can damage your stomach. And so I wanted better quality of life. And so I decided to do things a little bit healthier, using herbs, spices, black seed oil, oregano oil, mullein leaf, mango leaf oil. You know, mango leaf is great for your hair. And so I incorporated it all under one umbrella, Ravel Wellness, but I also have a subsidiary called Twisted Treats, and that is my fun. Twisted Treats is honey, lemonade. It has marijuana inside of it, and so you can use this with yogurt. You can use this with, you can put it on your tea. You can put it inside of cookies. You can use it in the morning with your coffee. And so I tell people it's very versatile, but instead of smoking, it's an alternative way to have THC for benefits of your body. And I also started doing stretch therapy, wood therapy, and started doing something called cavitation, laser lipo, all to have the body and the wellness that you wanted inside and out. So I really think supporting business, Latino businesses in general, we need to keep money within our own communities so that it circulates here. You know, a lot of times we're, spending money on outside vendors, outside, big name brands and stuff like that. But you know what? Supporting each other and supporting the work that we do here is very important because, one, it brings, like I said, small businesses flourish. You can actually expand, do some other things. But some of the stuff here is so creative. You're not finding these types of things in the community, so being able to support also, within your own nationality, helping each other out, building each other up. We don't do that enough, So the thing is that mobility is one of the biggest functions that if we lose it, and no matter the age, it becomes problematic if you don't move. And so stretching actually just keeps the circulation going, keeps things flexible, and being able to move. If you can't move, you're in trouble. And so I started to do this flexing and taking a certification for this stretching because I realized that as much as we stretch for ourselves, assisted stretching is far better results. And so when I saw the difference and felt the differences in my own body, I really wanted to give that same experience to somebody else. Just breathe. Feel that?
Hi, my name is Liliana Mateo, and I am the owner of Untamed Flames by Flavored on Feelings. It's a candle company that focuses on 100% soy wax candles that kind of enlighten you, make you feel good about yourself. I started doing this about 2 years ago because I needed a side hustle as a single mom. I have a full-time job, but I've noticed that sometimes we need to not only focus on our everyday life, but we also need to focus on self-care, so that's how I began. I believe it's important to support other Latina organizations because as women, we need to empower one another a little bit more. I think this day and age, there's no more of that stereotype of, that Latina is better than me, or, you have to learn how to fix each other's crowns. So I think it's important that the more we support one another, the more we're able to help our community grow, and for us women to empower one another, it's what it's all about.
So my name is Soda Kuchkowski. I have been in sleep medicine and sleep coaching and health for the last 20 years. I've had my companies for the last 11. So I own a company called Start With Sleep, which is focused on professional programs and training for sleep health education. And we also provide personalized sleep services like home sleep testing, sleep coaching. And then I have this space, which is the Doze, which is a line of curated sleep products that we've created around enhancing your sleep. It really helps you unlock your full potential. People don't realize, like I just did a podcast episode where it was about sleep and self-worth. Like the way we sleep, the quality of our sleep really dictates everything in our life, our emotional resilience, our physical health, our mental health. So it's just a culmination holistically of tapping into everything that you want to be on a personal and professional level. When it comes to being a Latina, we were raised in a very different culture, right? So as part of my work, sleep and rest is something that needed to be earned, right? So I'm all about changing the narrative and the conversation about the way we view and prioritize sleep. And I think supporting one another in that space as well, because we're so innately trained to just be going. And if we want to build and we want to create spaces where we are seen and where we are able to grow in the things that we want to share with others, we have to take care of ourselves first. So I think taking care of our community in a different way than we have traditionally.
Buffalo Latino Lens, proudly sponsored by Start With Sleep the Doze, Neighborhood Health Center, and the Buffalo Latino Village.
How well you sleep impacts how you show up in the world each day. My mission is to change the conversation about the way we view and prioritize sleep. Through my companies, Start With Sleep, I educate communities, workplaces, and schools. Through the Doze, we provide a line of sleep-enhancing products to help you sleep better and deeper. And through the Doze podcast, we offer you actionable tips to put the science of sleep into action. Are you ready to show up at your best?
When I come in here, if I've got a list of questions, they take the time to listen to those questions. We talk about them. They answer them for me.
Para mí es como un clic que haya entre el médico, el paciente, y más si es del mismo idioma que uno.
We've proven that if you come to our health center that your health's going to be better than if you go to many other places.
I believe we provide the best type of healthcare there is.